It's time to fly a 5-leg flight in a Boeing 757 on Cabin Crew Simulator. Let's do this. First, let's set up where our plane is going to be flying us today. We'll be seeing how much money this amount of flying can make you, and I predict it will be quite a large sum. There's our Boeing 757 flying today on our very own airline, Ryanair. Here's our route today, so let's get straight into it. We'll end up in Tahiti. Our food and drinks are fully purchased, as obviously, we are trying to make as much money as possible on this flight, and this is one way to guarantee it. The estimation is not correct for the money. Make sure to watch to the end to see what our total Skybucks balance will become. I'll just quickly spin the flight event wheel. Look out for these later in the video. And of course, a custom flight number. Let's head to the gate. And here we are outside of our first of 5 flights. This one is bound for Seattle. The Ryanair plane is taking a while to set up, but it shouldn't be long. Hurry up! Finally, the door has opened. Let's board our Boeing 757 that will carry us around the world. Wow, the Ryanair uniform is looking great on our staff. If you want your own, the link is in the description. The ground crew are now just stocking us up with the food we need for this first leg. This plane is so long as well. I've only just realized how long this may take. Don't worry, I'll speed up the boring bits. Let's sort out the galleys before we board the plane. And now that's sorted, it's time to board our passengers for the first leg. Our plane is finally ready to leave Robloxia airport. It's now time to taxi to the runway, where finally, after many months, Ryanair will lift off of the ground once again. Let's time-lapse to takeoff.
Can be used as a flotation device. Pull the cushion from the seat, slip your arms into the straps, and hug the cushion tightly towards your chest. At this time, your portable electronic devices must be set in the airplane mode since announcement is made upon arrival.
Why the
You will
tendency
find full
to
receipt of safety information in the carpet case in the seat pocket in front of you. We strongly suggest you read this before takeoff. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask one of our crew members.
It's time. Time to take off. Enjoy the first takeoff of the video, which will of course, without doubt, be accompanied by some fitting music. That was a very violent storm, but we're now airborne. There will be many more takeoffs and landings, so hopefully we will be able to have a much smoother one later in the video. I'll now speed up the cabin service, as we'll be completing a lot of that in this video. Let's go! We've now just finished cabin service, so it's now time to land flight number 1 at Seattle Airport. Let's prepare the cabin for the landing.
This is your captain from the flight deck. We have started our initial descent and will be landing soon. Thanks for flying with us, and we hope to see you again soon.
Oh no, this passenger is not cooperating with Wolf Air. Let's see if we can get them to listen. Oh dear. They won't listen, so now we will take them down to the seat, and we will get the police ready at our gate. There we are, let's proceed with getting ready to land. And finally, after quite an interesting first flight, we are ready to land the Boeing 757 on the ground. This is only the end of leg 1, so I'll remove the upcoming unnecessary boring sections on the next flights, as I'm sure the passengers would rather prefer it to not be filmed for the whole flight. Let's land the plane. Was an extremely smooth landing. Well done to the Wolf Air crew. I'll speed up the taxi to the gate. And just like that, our plane has arrived at Gate 6 of Seattle Airport. It should only take a few moments for the ground crew to connect the jetway, and then we'll change the passengers over as fast as possible. Let's just raise the lighting levels in here. Oh yes, the police will have to board the plane to take our disruptive passenger as well. Come on ground crew, this is taking a while. There we are. There come the police. After they've gone, let's watch all of the passengers get off of the plane, of course in a time lapse. All of the passengers have now left the flight, so let's go and take a look at where our next flight is headed. Oh, the gate isn't ready yet. I'll come back later to see the flight details. Let's check again. The screens still don't have any information. Why are the boards still blank? Oh, we have not selected the in-flight options just yet. 85 passengers to board. Let's do this. And our plane is now pushing back from Gate 6. Welcome on board Wolf Air 757 Part 2, and our new destination is now Los Angeles Airport. In the boarding process, we did have a vlogger board the plane, meaning our paycheck at the end is growing ever bigger. It looks as if the taxi to the runway will be extremely short from here, but in true Wolf Gaming fashion, I'll still time-lapse it anyway. From this flight onwards, I will now start cutting out the boring sections of the flights. I'll see you on the runway.
Flight attendants, please be seated for takeoff.
The flight attendants are now seated for takeoff, so let's go. Enjoy another Wolf Air takeoff, this time from a front-on view. Such a smooth takeoff from the Wolf Air crew, I didn't actually notice when we left the ground. Let's now fly up to cruising altitude. So it turns out the cabin service on this flight had no disruptive passengers or turbulent skies, so it's now time for landing. It would have been quite boring to sit through the cabin service that we just provided. So apparently, it is raining in Los Angeles at the moment, so this could make for an interesting landing. We'll see. Let's land the plane once again. Really good for the weather conditions, yet another well done to the Wolf Air crew. Let's do another time-lapse taxi to the gate. Just like that, the Wolf Air Boeing 757 has arrived at Gate 9 of Los Angeles Airport. Let's get the passengers off as quickly as possible, as the time it is taking in real life to fly all of these flights is mounting up. Why does the jetway take so long when you want to be fast? There we are. Let's get the passengers off of the plane. Wow, $5,000 from one flight, with a YouTuber bonus. This is looking really good for the amount of Skybucks we might make at the end of this video. And just like that, all of the passengers have filed off the plane, so let's immediately get started on Flight 3. There's our beautiful plane, which is now being set up for the next leg of our 5-leg flight. Hang on. If you haven't already, why don't you subscribe to Wolf Gaming? It's completely free, and you can guarantee more videos just like this. Now back to the video. The next leg of our flight will be taking us to Honolulu International Airport. You may notice the different gate number. This is due to a relocation that just happened for Wolf Air, as they had a ground equipment error over at Gate 9. Don't worry, it's all sorted now, and we're ready to fly. The sky has also cleared up whilst we moved the plane, so that's great. Oh look, the door is open. Let's get on the plane. Remember, if you want your own Wolf Air uniform, with the slogan "The World on Wings," it is available from the link in the description. Our food company is just loading us up with everything we will need for today's cabin service. After that, let's board the plane for the third time today. Look, yet another pushback. This time, we're departing from Los Angeles Airport, towards Honolulu. This taxi looks very long, so we'll obviously time-lapse the trip over there. Why wouldn't we? We're also currently safety briefing all of our passengers, as that can get you just that little bit more money on the safety bonus. Remember, we're trying to make as much money as possible. Right then, I'll see you on the runway.
Flight attendants, please be seated for takeoff.
Here we are, once again, on a beautiful sunny day. It's time to take off Wolf Air yet again, for the third flight in this episode. There's still more to come, including very severe turbulence, questionable landings, and our final arrival into Tahiti Airport. And we are airborne once again. Once we get to cruising altitude, we'll dive straight into cabin service.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your first officer from the flight deck. We've been told by air traffic control to expect some moderate turbulence up ahead. We'll try our best to give you a smooth ride, but expect some bumps over the next couple of minutes.
What a time lapse! It is safe to say that the plane is completely fine after that patch of turbulence, and we are completely safe to continue. Apparently there are some worse patches of turbulence later on, so we'll see how we do once we get there. Let's finish cabin service. Oh no, a passenger is not feeling well. Let's find them. There they are. We need to get the medical kit to help them. Oh dear, we now need to look for an actual doctor on the plane. Oh wow, we actually found a doctor. Right, let's tell the doctor what is wrong, and then we can get back to landing our plane. Okay, I couldn't record the last section for obvious reasons, but we're now ready to land the plane once again. We're on approach to Honolulu Airport. Well then, I'll see you once we touch down on the ground. I think my head just fell off. It is stormy, but that was an extremely horrible landing. Honestly, I thought our pilots could handle any weather landings. Oh well, let's taxi to the gate and once again get this lot off of our Boeing 757.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn
What a lovely sight. We've arrived on Gate 7 of Honolulu International Airport. Like always, we need to switch the passengers around, and fast. Another Wolf Air crew requires this plane as soon as we return, and any delay could cause a very bad knock-on effect. Let's get the passengers off of the plane. Oh look, the severe turbulence event. This must mean the plane will hit a large patch of clear air somewhere in the flight. And just like that, we're ready to board flight number 4's passengers into their seats. This next flight service is bound for the Japanese airport of Tokyo International. Once we get there we will do our final turnaround, then bound for Tahiti. Let's do this. Well, would you look at that, we're pushing back yet again. I'll skip the full-on taxi this time, as we have done a lot of that in this video. Instead, I'll skip straight to our takeoff. Let's go! We're on the runway in the rain, which must mean it is time for takeoff. Oh dear, that was quite a rough takeoff. Hopefully the future takeoffs and landings will be a lot smoother. Obviously, let's once again get going with cabin service.
This is your captain from the flight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your first officer from the flight deck. There is some weather nearby which may cause us to encounter severe turbulence over the next couple of minutes. At this time, we recommend that flight attendants get to their jump seats.
We have arrived at the turbulence patch, causing severe turbulence. Brace for impact, everybody.
I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I
Sorry about how rough it got. The aircraft is perfectly fine now. Thank you for your cooperation and patience.
don't say you're on the run.
Phew, we're ready for landing. Let's land this Boeing 757 in Tokyo Airport. Here we go.
You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
That was a pretty average landing. Not the best, not the worst. Now we need to get to the gate, which this time, I'll just cut to. Oh, hello. Welcome to Tokyo International Gate 2. Let's get all of the passengers off, so that we can turn around for the final time. After that, we can begin today's final Wolf Air flight. Let's let the passengers off of the flight. This is looking very good. We've just received another very large sum of money. I cannot wait to see what the final flight's income will bring the total up to. A Apparently, as Tokyo Airport is so busy, we now have to move the plane once again around to Gate 9, where they have sat all of the passengers waiting to board the final leg. The pilots have just arrived at Gate 9, we flight attendants walked here, and now we are finally ready to take this plane to our final destination. There it is, the final Wolf Air flight to Tahiti Airport. I can't wait to get there, where we can exchange with another crew who will take this plane back to Robloxia. We just have to wait for the door to open. I happen to not record all of the passengers boarding this plane, but we are now ready for pushback. And I know you've seen so many pushbacks in this video, so I'll just skip to where we take off on the runway. We've only got the last few people to get ready, so I'll see you on the runway for today's final takeoff. And the final flight is airborne. We've only got one landing left, and it is the most beautiful of them all. And as you haven't seen much of the full cabin service recently, here's a full time lapse of the food and drink service on the final flight in today's video. Don't worry, it's not even longer than a minute. Oh yes, it's time for the final and most pretty landing of them all. It's time for the Tahiti landing. Are you ready for this? Here we go. Enjoy the final landing for today, into Tahiti Airport. I mean, the storm made that landing a bit horrible. Wait, a bit horrible? I bet most passengers have been seriously injured from that landing. Oh well, let's get to the gate to fully end today's flying. And here we are, with the stair truck pulling up to us, at the end of today's Wolf Air multi-leg flight. But of course, the money! Let's get everyone off of the plane, and then I'll tell you how much money we actually made from 5 consecutive flights on a Boeing 757. And as the thunderstorm powers on, we have now passed on the Boeing 757 to the other Wolf Air team, who will now take the plane back to the Wolf Air hangar at Robloxia Airport. But of course, I must tell you how much money this generated us. 5 Wolf Air flights made us $25,758. Make sure to subscribe to Wolf Gaming to see more of this, and make sure to buy your Wolf Air merch from the link in the description. With that, farewell from Tahiti Airport. And until next time, goodbye.
It's just me and you.